17-year-old Marcus Johnson stared out his bedroom window. Seattle rain tapped against the glass, much like the tears he was holding back. Tomorrow was the annual school talent show, and his name was already on the list. But now, all he could think about was one thing: how to get his name off that list. Marcus loved music. He'd been playing guitar since he was 5 years old. He'd sit alone in his room for hours, practicing, writing songs, losing himself in the world of melodies. But the moment it came to performing in front of others, his hands would shake, his breath would quicken, and his heart would pound so hard it felt like it would burst through his chest. This wasn't just stage fright. This was trauma that started 3 years ago. 3 years back, in middle school, Marcus performed on stage for the first time. He'd chosen his favorite song and practiced for weeks. His mom sat in the front row, clapping enthusiastically. But as soon as his fingers touched the first string, his mind went completely blank. He forgot what the next chord was. The entire auditorium fell silent. 300 eyes stared at him. Then someone in the back started laughing, then another. Soon the whole hall erupted with laughter. Marcus put down his guitar and ran off the stage. For the next 2 weeks, he didn't want to go to school. People started calling him Freeze Boy. Today, 3 years later, that nightmare still haunted him. His friend Emily was the one who convinced him to sign up for the talent show. "Marcus, you're amazing. People need to see your talent. You've practiced so much, don't waste this opportunity." Emily was also performing, a ballet dance. But now Marcus was convinced it was a mistake. Going on stage tomorrow was beyond his capability. It was 2 in the morning when his mom walked into his room. Sarah Johnson was a single mother who had raised 2 kids on her own. Marcus's father had passed away from cancer when he was 10 years old. "Marcus can't sleep?" She sat on the edge of his bed. "Mom, I can't do this. I can't go on that stage tomorrow. Please don't force me." Sarah looked into her son's eyes. She was reminded of her husband. David Johnson had been the same way, a talented musician who never followed his dream because of stage fear. "Honey, let me tell you a story." Sarah took a deep breath. "Your dad played guitar just like you. He wanted to be a professional musician. But he was also terrified of the stage. He always said next time, but that next time never came." Marcus saw tears in his mother's eyes. When he was diagnosed with cancer, in his final days he would tell me, "Sarah, my biggest regret is that I let my fear become bigger than my dream. I never even tried." Don't let Marcus make the same mistake. The room fell silent. Only the sound of rain outside. Mom ... Marcus's voice broke. "Baby, I'm not forcing you. But remember, courage doesn't mean not being afraid. Courage means moving forward despite the fear. Your dad couldn't move forward, but you can." The next morning, Marcus made his decision. He would go on that stage. Not for himself, not for Emily, but for his dad who never took that chance. The talent show was scheduled to start at 7 in the evening. Marcus arrived at the school auditorium in the afternoon. He sat alone on the stage, staring at the empty seats. He picked up his guitar and started playing. "Your first performance is right here, in this empty hall," someone said. Marcus turned around. It was Mr. Anderson, the school's music teacher, a retired professional guitarist. "Sir ... I spoke with your mom. She told me about your dad." He came and sat next to Marcus. "Marcus, do you know even the greatest musicians have stage fear? Look at Adele, look at Barbra Streisand. The difference is, they didn't let their fear become their identity. But sir, what if I freeze again? What if people laugh again?" Mr. Anderson smiled. "Then you'll try again. Marcus, don't be afraid of failure. Be afraid of being the people who never even try. Your dad. He didn't try, and his last wish was for you to try." It was 6:30 in the evening. The auditorium was starting to fill up. Marcus was backstage. His number was 8th. Emily gave him a high five. "We got this." But as the performances began, Marcus's stomach started churning. His hands went cold. His breathing became rapid. He was heading toward a panic attack. 7th performance, Emily Chun. Emily went on stage. Marcus watched from behind the curtain. She was dancing perfectly. The crowd was applauding. Then suddenly, during a twist, Emily lost her balance. She fell on the stage. Her ankle twisted. Gasps echoed through the auditorium. Marcus's heart sank. Teachers rushed to help Emily up. Emily started crying, maybe from pain, maybe from embarrassment. But then something amazing happened. The entire auditorium gave her a standing ovation. People started cheering, "Emily! Emily! Emily!" Teachers seated Emily on the side. She was smiling through her tears. People hadn't failed her. They appreciated her. The announcer said, "And now 8th performance, Marcus Johnson with his original song." It was his turn. Marcus took steps toward the stage. His legs were shaking, but he was walking. First, he looked at Emily, who was giving him a thumbs up. Then he saw his mom in the front row. Sarah was crying and smiling at the same time. Marcus sat on the stool in the center of the stage with his guitar and spoke into the microphone. This song is for my dad, who taught me to love music. He didn't teach me how to be perfect. He taught me how to try." Then he played the first chord on the guitar, and his mind went blank again. 3 seconds of silence. 5 seconds. Marcus looked at 300 people in the auditorium. He remembered that night in 2019. Freeze boy. Laughter. Shame. But this time something was different. This time he could see Emily, who had just fallen but received a standing ovation. He could see his mom, whose eyes held her husband's last wish. He could see Mr. Anderson nodding. Marcus closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and played again. This time the chord was perfect. Then the second, then the third. And then he started singing. "I was broken, I was scared, thought nobody really cared. But I learned that fear's just a test, to bring out your very best." His voice shook at first, then it stabilized, then it became confident. He was singing, actually performing. When he played the last note, there was 2 seconds of silence. Then Sarah Johnson stood up and started clapping. Then Mr. Anderson, then Emily, then the entire auditorium. Standing ovation. Marcus couldn't believe it. He stood on the stage with tears in his eyes, but he was smiling. He had done it. Backstage, Emily hugged him. "I knew you could do it. You inspired me, Em. When you fell and people still cheered for you, I understood. People don't want perfection. People want courage." When they got home that night, Sarah gave Marcus an envelope. "What's this, Mom?" "Your dad wrote this for you when he found out he didn't have much time left. I said I'd give this to you the day you overcame your fear." Marcus opened the envelope with trembling hands. "My dear Marcus, if you're reading this, it means you did what I couldn't. I'm proud of you. Remember, the greatest achievements don't happen without fear. They happen despite fear. The courage you showed today will change your life. Keep playing, keep trying, keep living. Love always, Dad." Marcus held the letter to his chest. 6 months later, Marcus Johnson did his first paid performance at a local Seattle coffee shop. Then another, then another. After high school graduation, he earned a scholarship to Berklee College of Music. Today, 7 years later, Marcus Johnson is a successful musician. He conducts workshops in schools where he tells kids, "Fear isn't your enemy. It's a sign that you're about to do something important. Don't try to be perfect. Try to be brave." His mom sits in the front row at every performance. And Marcus always keeps his dad's letter in his shirt pocket. Because he learned the biggest risk in life isn't that you might fail. The biggest risk is that you never try. Fear will always be there. But courage begins the moment you take one step forward despite that fear.